farmers in general and PFI do a great job of just sharing ideas and helping others, bounce ideas off of each other. So I think it's a great practice from a soil health standpoint, a water quality standpoint, and a managing carbon standpoint too. It's a great way to pump carbon into the ground. So it's just, to me, spreading the word and getting more people interested in it. I think it's a good movement, and it's something we need to keep working on.
I think it's important for me to talk about cover crops because I think cover crops is a unifying thing across all types of farmers. And I firmly believe that there's less than 1% of us left in the nation, and whereas 100 years ago, 50% of the population farmed. And so cover crops is something that whether you grow corn or vegetables or beans or small grains, or if you raise livestock, it's the equalizing factor among all farmers. All farmers have access to the use of a few seeds in the ground to build nutrient base of their soil, to build soil tilth. And so I see it as the thing that brings all farmers together. And whether that's, I have a ton I can learn from some of the largest row crop farmers that use cover crops. And I feel like as specialty crop farmers, we can share with each other. So it's really hard to figure out your crop rotation system. It's really hard to figure out these things. And so the more we talk about it, what we're doing, the more cover crops that'll be on the ground. But I think it's really exciting that I can sit across the table from another PFI farmer that grows something completely different than me. But the one thing we might have in common is cover crops. And I find that really, really exciting.
Well, those are the kinds of things that if somebody else had figured that out already, it could have saved us a lot of headaches, a lot of money having to find out the hard way. Also having that support system of people you can ask questions to, or there's always things that come up that you're not sure, or you're just not sure if you're making the right choice on maybe a variety or seeding rates or things like that. Having that network of people that you can access and ask questions to, really makes it easier. And especially if you can find people in your area, that are doing something similar. It just makes life a lot more fun.
We missed it last year with the tornado, but one of my favorite questions at the cooperators meeting and at field days and stuff is, so what'd you learn this year? And, in some cases it's personal, it's maybe not farm related, but there's a lot of things that are just good pieces of information to share. And I ask that question, and sometimes people ask it back to me, and you're kind of caught off guard by thinking of what you learned this year, because there's oftentimes a number of things, and so you're trying to think of the most significant thing that you learned, or you end up having a 20-minute conversation going back and forth about all the different things that you learned. And so, again, a field day, the cooperators meeting, just a cover crop get together over coffee or something, you just have an environment where you can share openly about what your ideas are, what you're trying, what worked, what didn't work, why it didn't work or why it worked, and then come up with something new to do.
I like sharing what I've learned because I want more people to do it. I like seeing green in the early spring, and so whether I'm selling them seed or not, I don't really care if more people are doing it. So.
Well, again, it goes back to the community part. There's been people who have helped me get to where I am and have answered a lot of dumb questions for me. And I just want to see other people, that are willing to take that chance and put in the effort to help them too, going back to what I said at the very beginning, I've always been passionate about conservation, and I've always wanted to try to do a better job of it. And so anyone else I see that spark in, I want to kind of help flame it. I don't want to blow it out. And so, when I'm telling guys, you need to find community if you're going to start doing cover crops and changing some of the things on your farm, then I don't want to be a hypocrite and not help be part of that community, right? And so that's why I'm willing to share and try to invest time and help other growers get to that same spot. So
one of the best ways that farmers learn is from other farmers. You can look at a number of different research studies, and that's the result of the studies, is that if you want to help a farmer learn, another farmer has to have that knowledge to help them learn. That's the best way to do it. And so having field days where farmers are trying different things and being open and willing to share about what they learned, good, bad, or indifferent, it's really beneficial to other farmers who are trying out cover crops or trying a new practice on their farm, or testing things that might be related to cover crops, like different row cleaners or closing setup for your planter.
You know, whether it's relay cropping or small grains, there's not a lot of people in our area doing that we can ask. If somebody grew oats, they grew oats 30 years ago, and things have changed so much since then. I rely on, you know, PFI newsletters or YouTube videos or talking to other PFI members or people that kind of share this same space, whether it's on social media or like YouTube, like I said. And so I'm taking all this information from all these people, and I feel like giving it back is the least bit I can do. When I learn something, it's good to share. It's, you know, I don't want to take everything from somebody else and not give them a little bit back. So when I learn something, I feel like I need to share it, and hopefully somebody else will try to learn something from what we're doing or learn from my mistakes the same way I'm learning from them.